Ladies and gentlemen, please rise to welcome our platform party led by University of Maryland University College President Javier Miyares, Senior Vice President and Chief Academic Officer Dr. Alan Drimmer, and distinguished journalist Maureen Bunyan. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please remain standing for our national anthem performed by Isabel Pollard, one of 2018's graduates. Graduates, please leave your caps on during the national anthem. Our president will honor the flag on your behalf by removing his.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Please be seated. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome University of Maryland University College President Javier Miyares.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, graduates, family members, friends, colleagues, and honored guests. Our graduates have traveled many miles to walk across this stage. They have devoted many hours to earn their degrees. And as I look across the arena, I'm filled with a sense of pride for all that you have accomplished. I speak for everyone at UMUC when I say that it has been our honor to help you in the pursuit of your goals and your dreams. Today, you represent our greatest achievement, and we are so proud to recognize and celebrate your success. I am also honored to offer a special salute to our active duty members of the U.S. military, to our veterans who are graduating today. May I ask you all and their family members to rise and be recognized. Your service to our country has earned you the respect and admiration of a grateful nation, and we are so pleased that you selected UMUC as your university of choice. In addition, I would like to recognize the people who have supported our graduates in so many ways. On this Mother's Day, let us first acknowledge all the moms who are here today as graduates, as guests, as faculty, and as staff members. Let us also take a moment to say thank you to the husbands, wives, partners, children, parents, grandparents, uncles, teachers, dear friends who offer their love and encouragement along the road to this day. Congratulations to you all. The heart and soul of every university is its faculty. Today, we offer a special thanks to the more than 4,500 educators of our graduates worldwide, with the distinguished members of the UMUC faculty who are with us today representing our worldwide academic community. Please rise and be recognized. I would now like to introduce the members of the UMUC community who have joined us on the platform. Dr. Alan Dreamer, Senior Vice President and Chief Academic Officer. Dr. Catherine Close, Vice Provost and Dean of the Graduate School. Dr. Cara Van Dam, Vice Provost and Dean of the Undergraduate School. Philip Callahan, a 1966 graduate and President of the UMUC Alumni Association. Professor Sarah Rothschild, member of the faculty and Secretary of the Academic Advisory Board. We thank you all. And now it is my privilege to introduce William Shorter, Jr., the student member of the University System of Maryland Board of Regents, the governing body for UMUC and other public universities within the state of Maryland. Regent Shorter will be graduated from the University of Baltimore later this week with his Bachelor of Arts degree in Interdisciplinary Studies. Ladies and gentlemen, Regent William Shorter, Jr.
Good afternoon, everybody. President Mieres, senior administrators, faculty and staff members, and the graduating class of 2018. On behalf of the University System of Maryland Board of Regents, I would like to extend my warmest congratulations to you and your families. I would also like to extend a happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, fathers who take on the role as mom, and all of the mother figures who are here today. I would like to especially acknowledge the mothers who have served in the armed forces and the spouses of armed service members. Thank you for the sacrifice you continue to make for this country. You know, with this great holiday, I would bring you guys all flowers, but that will leave me with no money, so I think your diploma will suffice for today, so that is my Mother's Day present to you guys. I'd like to take this moment to acknowledge the leadership of President Mieres. As a member of the board, I know we appreciate your passion and dedication to the students of UMUC. I'd like to also express my gratitude to the senior administrators, faculty, and staff members of UMUC. I want to let you guys in on my little secret. Out of all the students I get to represent across this state, it is you, the students of UMUC, that inspire me the most. Your determination, discipline, and perseverance is an example to all. While the education you received here is a fulfillment to yourself, you have truly passed that spark to your children, your fellow service members in the Army, and everyone in your communities. Don't let this moment be the peak of your life. Position yourself to dream bigger and bolder. Before I take my seat, I'd like to leave with you the words of the poet Maya Angelou. She once said, "Lift up your eyes upon the day breaking for you. Give birth again to the dream." Class of 2018, give birth again to the dream. Congratulations.
Once again, on behalf of the University System of Maryland Board of Regents, Member Will Shorter, thank you so much. One of the great traditions of commencement is a keynote address. It is an opportunity to hear from someone whose achievements and words can inspire us all. This afternoon's keynote speaker is, I am sure, familiar to many of you who live in the Washington, D.C. area. Distinguished broadcast journalist Maureen Bonian was born in Aruba and immigrated to the United States at the age of 10. Her parents stressed the importance of education, and at one point, she, her sister, and their father were studying for their undergraduate degrees at the same time. Mr. Bonian earned her bachelor's degree in English from the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. She then participated in a special program for minority journalists at Columbia University's Graduate School of Journalism and earned a Master of Arts from the Harvard University Graduate School of Education. While still in college, Ms. Bonian began working as a freelance writer for the Milwaukee Journal newspaper. She went on to work at television stations in Boston and New York before arriving in Washington, D.C. For 22 years, she was a lead anchor at WUSA TV News. Then, after serving as chief correspondent for the PBS series Religion and Ethics News Weekly, in 1999, she joined WJLA TV News, where she was a lead anchor for another 18 years. Throughout her career, Ms. Bonian has been active in professional and community organizations. In 1975, she co-founded the National Association of Black Journalists. And in 1990, she co-founded the International Women's Media Foundation. She has been honored with many professional and community service awards, including 7 Emmys and the American Immigration Law Foundation's Immigrant Achievement Award. She has dedicated her professional life to accuracy, fairness, and helping others pursue their dreams. And we are honored that she joins us today to address the UMUC class of 2018. Please join me in welcoming this afternoon's keynote speaker, distinguished journalist Maureen Bonian.
Good afternoon, dear friends here at thank you so much, President Miyares, for your warm welcome, and thank you so much to University System of Maryland Regent William Shorter, Jr. for your remarks and your hospitality. Congratulations to all of you UMUC graduates, family members, friends here in College Park and around the world. Thank you also to the UMUC staff and faculty for the great work you have done in bringing this class to this moment. A study by the Associated Press reports this year, of course, as a journalist, I have to tell you something about what you may have read or may not have read in journalism. The Associated Press says that this year, for the first time in at least 20 years, commencement speakers at top colleges are women. I am thrilled to be one of those women, and thank you, UMUC, for allowing me the privilege of being part of this group. Now, for those of you who are new to the Washington area, and those of you in our global audience, may I tell you a little bit about myself and what has brought me here this afternoon. As President Miyares said, my family is an immigrant family. My parents were born and raised in the country of Guyana, South America, when Guyana some of them are here. When Guyana was a part of the British Empire. Guyana was then, and is still, a poor country, poor in infrastructure, but rich in natural resources, and with a population of under 1 million people. Under the British system of education at the time that my parents grew up, a comprehensive examination was given to all students when they reached the age of 13. The results of that examination determined whether a child would go on to further education, basically secondary school, or not. This test was given once a year. If a student failed the exam or could not take it for any reason, his or her formal education was over at the age of 13. There was no do-over, makeover, or come back next year. My father, whose name was Arthur, was a smart young man and would easily have passed that examination. But in 1926, when he was 13, he missed his chance because he was sick with malaria. But Arthur decided at the age of 13 he would not let the system interfere with his pursuit of knowledge. And he began that pursuit by using what we now call distance learning or distance education. In the 1930s and 40s, distance education meant correspondence courses, and correspondence courses meant by mail. Imagine what that was like for people living in an isolated place like Guyana. Somehow, my father found out about correspondence courses in electricity and mathematics given by a company in New York City. He ordered the courses, and they became the start of his lifelong pursuit of higher education. In those days also, long-distance courses meant long time. All correspondence was written and sent by boat, and boats did not keep predictable schedules. So it took months for Arthur's applications for a course to reach New York City, months for the courses then to get to Guyana, months for Arthur's homework to go back to New York City, and then for the results of the homework to be graded and shipped back to Guyana. Because of these correspondence courses, my dad was prepared in 1937 to apply for a job as an electrical draftsman with the Standard Oil Company on the island of Aruba. He got the job, moved to Aruba, he got the girl, my mother, and the two of them got me and my two sisters. In Aruba, my dad continued taking correspondence courses in electronics. He learned how to build shortwave radio receivers and other electronic devices. And in preparation to buy, and then after buying one of the first automobiles in Aruba, Arthur took correspondence courses in auto mechanics and auto maintenance. I mentioned that malaria had kept my father from pursuing his education, his formal education. Malaria also left him underweight. So both in Guyana and Aruba, my dad took correspondence courses in bodybuilding and physical fitness from the Charles Atlas Company. I don't know if any of you have heard, or those of you who are old enough could remember that name. Charles Atlas was one of the first and most successful bodybuilders of the past century. He also created an international mail order business in 7 languages used by millions of men all around the world, reportedly including King George VI of Britain, and it's said that Gandhi himself wrote to Charles Atlas to ask about the fitness program. My father always credited those correspondence courses with helping him build his body and his health after the ravages of tropical diseases. My family immigrated to the U.S. in the 1950s to southeastern Wisconsin, where my father went to work immediately and immediately enrolled in school. Because of his lifelong distance learning, he was accepted into a bachelor's degree program at a Wisconsin state college. He then earned 2 master's degrees, one in education and one in electrical engineering. To earn one of those degrees, he, for 2 years, commuted from southeastern Wisconsin to northwestern Wisconsin every week, driving a total of 400 miles every week. He then became a teacher of electrical engineering, as well as worked full-time as an electrical engineer. He also raised 3 strong-willed daughters by himself because my mother had died of breast cancer. By the time my father was in his mid-60s, he had finished all his coursework for a doctorate in electrical engineering. But his vision deteriorated, and it kept him from finishing his thesis and getting his PhD. Imagine what an impact that had on him, and what an impact my father had on me and my sisters. And imagine the impact he had on the people with whom he worked and the students he taught. From him, I learned that education is precious, and the opportunity to receive it, as well as to provide it, is not given to everyone. I learned that education helps us to understand both our strengths and our frailties, and that at this moment in which we live in human history, it is now available to us in many forms and many ways. I also learned from my father that the love of education, the need to learn, and the desire to teach are basic to human nature. That's why we must not deny this part of our nature, and we must not deny it of other human beings. What if my father had followed the British colonial system and his own poor health, and they had stopped him from pursuing an education? What if he had not taught me to respect knowledge and those who share it? What if he had not had the desire and the drive to achieve? I guarantee you, I would not be standing here this afternoon. I suspect many of you, if not all, come from families like mine. I suspect you have the same drive, curiosity, and desire to achieve that my father did. I know that your investment in yourselves has come with sacrifices, long hours, and struggle. It is said that virtue is its own reward. I believe that education is its own reward. You are giving to your families, friends, and neighbors precious lessons in how to seize opportunities, to face obstacles, to pursue goals, and to reach them. Most important, you have learned about your own strength, intelligence, and determination. My father loved the hard sciences. He liked to learn and to teach people how things work. I grew up to love journalism, and I like to tell stories about how people work. Thank you for letting me tell the story of my father. Today is the 22nd anniversary of his death. If he were here in front of you all, he would have recognized himself in all of you, and he would have been as proud to be here with you as I am today. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Ms. Bunyan, for those beautiful and inspiring words, and for joining our graduates at today's ceremony. May we have one more show of applause, please, for Ms. Maureen Bunyan? Graduates, this is a day to look back at what you've learned in order to achieve this goal. It's a day to look around with awareness of those who have helped you achieve it. And it's a day to look ahead to a brighter future because of the investment that you have made in yourselves. As adult learners, you faced unique challenges in your journey. Many of you arrived at UMUC with families, jobs, and a host of life experiences. Most of you have not had the luxury of being able to study throughout the day and to take your weekends off. You have had to make time for your studies, and that has meant taking time away from other responsibilities. It has not been an easy road, and we know that. So, speaking on behalf of your professors, let me say how proud we are of your achievements. On this day, you don't need role models. Today, you are the role models for us and for everyone in this arena. Today, you prove that you have what it takes, and what it takes is the courage, fortitude, and perseverance that you exemplify, and we congratulate and honor you. Each year, the university selects a member of the graduating class to speak on your behalf, someone who represents the special attributes of UMUC students. And today's student speaker, U.S. Army Staff Sergeant Timothy French, certainly fits the bill. Timothy French today earns his Associate of Arts degree, and we're delighted that his family joins us in the audience in celebration and in pride of his accomplishments. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome U.S. Army Staff Sergeant Timothy French.
Good afternoon. Thank you, President Miaris, members of the platform party and honored guests, family, friends, alumni, and most importantly, the graduating class of 2018. It is an honor for me to be here. For me, as I'm sure it has for many of you, this graduation comes after years of work and dedication in my own career. Years ago, I asked my father what single piece of advice he could give me going forward to succeed. He told me, son, be mindful of your name. Whatever job you do, you leave your name on it. When you leave that job, others will see how you hold yourself and how you see yourself. That was over 16 years ago, and I'm just now beginning to understand what he meant. While you can put a price tag on our gowns and tuition, you can't put a price tag on what this accomplishment means to each person in this room. That price, that unequivocal value, is what drove each of us to this culminating event today. For many of us, this represents more than the normal 4 years of homework, tests, and sleepless nights. We had to learn the material our teachers assigned, while also learning time management beyond what is required of typical college students. Some of us had to learn to balance education with full-time jobs, while some of us added caring and providing for spouses, parents, loved ones, and children. As if that wasn't enough, others added multiple majors or minors. Through all of it, we learned to grow, and we learned that we can accomplish, achieve, and succeed. We gained a true understanding and appreciation of what it means to be a college graduate. Nobody can take away that sense of pride and accomplishment we all feel here in this moment. We learned that we have the power to change our lives for the better every single day. And just as important as this diploma is, we learned that it stands for so much more. Throughout my military career and my college experience, I've learned that it isn't just the end result that matters. It's the journey that makes us who we are today and who we will be in the future. Success is not achieved on your own, and there are many ups and downs along the way. We learned from our teachers, were supported by our loved ones, overcame every obstacle along the way, and with each and every step, we left our name. Our names grew as we learned. Our names grew as we made friends, and our names grew as we succeeded and as we failed. We would not be where we are or who we are today without that journey. In my own case, I'm married with 3 children, and my eldest son was born with a rare condition. Within 12 hours of his birth, he had to be taken to the ICU, where he had the first of 9 blood transfusions that he would need within the next 5 years. I was enrolled in college and an instructor in the Army at the time, and I remember coming home after spending the day with him in the ICU with his little black styrofoam eye covers as he lay with 5 different lines attached to him under the special UV lights. I sat down that night and I tried to focus on a paper that was due the next week. I couldn't focus. I couldn't get a single word typed out right that evening. I debated just pushing the class aside. I went to go look for the drop, knowing I would end up eating the cost of the course. I finally fell asleep that night with my laptop in my lap. When I awoke the next morning, I went back to the hospital where my wife was holding our son, sitting in a chair next to all his machines. He stayed in the ICU for 5 long and painful days, but he got better, and we were finally able to take him home. As I got my family home and watched my wife and son calmly lie down and sleep, I finally found the clarity to complete the assigned paper. Just by having my family home, knowing they would be okay was support enough, and I found the drive to complete the course, make the dean's list that semester, and continue to where I stand today. So as I look around this room today, I see not only my classmates, but every person who came to support them. And I know that this accomplishment was not made without sacrifice. It was our choice to sacrifice personal time in pursuit of our education. And for many, it was their loved ones' dedication and support that drove us to succeed. Many of us decided that unplanned study breaks to care for our children and mandatory date nights were both worth it and the reasons we chose to sacrifice for the betterment of our futures. While it's easy to summarize in a speech, it's a demanding and trying feat to accomplish. Each choice and every sacrifice you made led you to where you are today, to a 30-foot walk across the stage that's going to feel like 60, because you earned every bit of celebration for your accomplishment here today. So I ask you, where's your name now? Your name grew with every subject you learned, every step you took, and with every sacrifice you made. Your name is in a better place than where you started. Your name finished a marathon and said, "Let's go again." Your name got a brain freeze, but pushed through to finish that pint of Ben & Jerry's. Be proud of your name, because nobody can take it from you. Because your loved ones are proud of you, and because the example you set is one that your children will be proud of, and one that your families will remember forever. Congratulations to the graduates, and thank you.
Thank you, Staff Sergeant French, for sharing your remarkable story. We wish you all the best. And now the time has arrived to present our graduates for individual recognition. Thursday evening, our doctoral candidates were honored in a separate conferral and hooding ceremony. Today, we will call the names of our master's, bachelor's, and associate candidates and confer those degrees. Now, each name we announce is of great importance. We ask for your courtesy as each person is called so that all of our students and their guests can enjoy their special moments. Graduates, please remain on the floor until all of your colleagues have had their opportunity to cross the stage. And then our president will confer your degrees following the presentation of all candidates. Dr. Catherine Close, Vice Provost and Dean of UMUC's Graduate School, will now present our master's degree candidates. Dr. Close.
Thank you, Dr. Drimmer, and good afternoon to our graduates, distinguished faculty, and honored guests. We will now present the candidates who are earning the following degrees: the Master of Arts in Teaching, the Master of Business Administration, the Master of Distance Education and E-Learning, Master of Education Instructional Technology, Master of International Management, and the Master of Science degree. The hoods they wear symbolize this significant achievement and the investment they have made in their future. I ask that you join me in recognizing these outstanding women and men as we acknowledge their academic accomplishments and we wish them well in their professional endeavors. We are very proud of you. Candidates, you will now be directed to the stage for individual recognition. Please remain in your seats until invited to come forward. Let us begin with the first graduate.
Christopher Leon Abbott. Marianella Klein. Eddie Davis Ragland. Muna Shristha. Baraka Omadele Abdul Karim Afini. Jeremy I. Adams. Adatayo Falajimi Adewole. Akinsote Smith Adetula. Johnson Edekin. Bridget Serwa Ahima. Bolanle Janet Akanabio. Renuma Alama. Devlin Ramondo Alexander. Robin Harrison Alexander. Mabel Pamela Alvarado. Gifty Anand. Danielle Nicole Amos. Camille Julia Anastasio. Chekaodi Johnson Asiegbu. Mary Afor Ayompe. Brandon Stefan Anderson. Francis Eldridge Anderson. Justin Chigozie Anoroa. Richard Akachukwu Anyanwu. Brian Lawrence Asleson. Rahul Bakshi. Ariel Lavon Bain. Sir Bangay. Aisata Omar Ba. Sansi Ba. Alisa Robin Baina. Abembola Alufasayo Balagun. Gabriela Basma. Christy Marie Bean Smith. Keller H. Benningfield. Heather Ann Benson. Jennifer Lynn Bentley. Allison Berman. Christine E. Burning. Anthony B. Besong. Ram K. Bista. Hannah Bizune. Raynard Bowling. Scott Buta. Evelyn W. Bowens. Bradford Ashman Brevard. Gregory Allen Brightbill. Kamaya Marche Brown. LaShawn Danielle Brown. James Harold Bruce. Alexis Lenora Bryant. Ana Paolo Bueno. Luan Kin Pui. Michael Robert Bukowski. Genethia Andrea Butler. Keisha Byers. Lynette Marie Cameron. Carmen Marie Catelier. Dianthy Rosina Chapin. Shiraz Chaudhry. James Thomas Chen. Ihiani Frank Chinasa. George Shongyuan Cho. James Menard Christian Jr. Yvette Angela Chulon Brown. Rachel Catherine Clark. Tamika Clinkscales. Sharon Debbie Cobb. Tiara Glorious Coleman. Karen Jalan Conley. Kimberly Cooper. Noah Cable Kuslar. Frederick Elijah Coker. Sean Michael Crivello. Melinda May Custer. Susan Carol Diarigo. Kathy Belinda Davis. Felicia M. Davis. Melissa A. Day. Tishma De Lagarde. Brandy Olson Deragine. Shante Monique Dixon. Kevin Wendell Dobbins. William James Dabro. Emmanuel W. Doe. Emma John Dooley. Sabine Doristal. Akeisha Shayna Dorset. Alyssa Douglas. Van Lal Dwat. George Durley. Afua Oye Enchil.
Charles Nwesi. Bruce Glenn Erickson. Zachary Thomas Erickson. Velika Lynette Esters. Corny Lorenzo Evans III. Tomiko K. Evans. Carl William Eiler. Kyendra Chanel Fahi. Bukola A. Faladun. Prince O. Famous. Olufunki T. Fasuru. Adareme Victoria Finley. Jordan Elizabeth Finley. Patrick Miles Fisher. Fatumata and Fofana Bility. George Babila Foga. Curtis Lamar Francis. Harry Elliott Freeman. Mark J. Freeman. Christopher M. Gaines. Joseph G. Gamatoria. Michael J. Gast. Delrisi Michelle Germany. Wendy Stern Gilman. Kiana Shante Glanville. Carlita Marie Gotzi. Katina M. Goldring. Shant Georgian. Andrea M. Gozi Skursky. Alexander Granados. Lauren Libran Green. Ruth Teklitzian Haptigeorgis. Kashay Denise Hampton. Elizabeth May Handy. Jason Jonathan Harding. Lucretia Carlene Harding. Garrett Elias Harper. Michelle Harris. Matthew James Harris. Lauren Elisa Harris. Jennifer Renee Harris. Rico Andre Harris. Nashma Halima Harris. Caitlin Aaron Harward. Byron Hayes. Cherie Lynette Henderson. Bobby George Henry III. Stephen O. Hines. Jason Trinell Holmes. Verona Hood Robinson. Courtney Marie Hoyes. Erin Bridget Humphreys. Tina Marie Hurst. Lynn Truk Hein. Bonnie Beth Hyde. Yetunde Iduu Adiloye. Jose A. Irahita. Lashonda Renee Jackson. Wendy Mainti Jagat. Derek Damian James. Florence Aminata Kumba Jarfoy. Latai Camille Jenkins. Zoya Jean Jenkins. Lloyd Babajide Jenkins Johnston. Tierra Jennings. Davida Eileen John. Faluna Johnson. Amanda Burdette Johnston. Laura John Toussaint. Jasmine Nichelle Johnson. Christopher Joseph Jones. Sydney Lene Jones. Douglas Joyner Jr. Asha Kabiro. Chikambutsi Ellen Kankwindi. Michael L. Keys Jr. Daniel Corenteng. Jordan Joyce Kovacs. Nicholas J. Keefe. Jeffrey Burnett Kennedy. Douglas Chutat Kishu. Tiffany Christina Kirkland. Josiah Oluwadamilari Koliosho. Galit Kushnir. Adam Sheng Long Kwok. Nana Yi Kiwi. Lavelle Denise Lamb. Emmanuel Larte Larty. Annie D. Lecointe.
Jan Lee. Yi Lu. Megan L. Lloyd. Valerie Ann Loveday. Mark Lumpkin. Letitia E. Lukusha. Ram Maharjan. Amy Manny. Louis Manning III. Joellen Mason Foley. Maria Matheson. Esther Christina Magorka. Carrington Keith Matthews. Valencia S. May. Nina Renee McAfee. Chantel McClanahan. Philip Dennis Mitchell. Devora Chashuva McCoy. Lloyd L. McLean. Lene Corinne Messner. Shazad Aslam Mian. Jennifer Milham. Sharon Teresa Miller. Kunchuang Ryan Misana. Zachary Nyamboga Mutore. Jennifer Mosquera. Francis B. Mubiro. Paraswamari Munyade. Taniform Edwin Munga. Chad Munns. Laura Chase Murek. Freddie Lee Murphy, Jr. Daniel J. Na. Shanitip Peace Naksoman. Serara Hoyodare Nejad. Curtis Lindell Newkirk. Pascal Mbongo Ngolo. Rashima Tierra Nixon. Nina Marie Knoll. Alamehu Naida. Jinyenye Lina Nwatu. Chisholm Mwoki. Matthew James Oberlander. Raymond Valenzuela Ognita. Babatunde Ugundipi. Aramasan Ola Ugunsimor. Sharmila Oha. Ndeka Ojinma. Olotoyan Olushoa Ojabi. Emimbola Oladokan. Leslie Ann Olson. Samadina Onyemale. Obehai Orakai. Mike Ortega. Esther Izeku Charity Osemwegi. Tanika L. Owens. Waldemar Pabon. Travis Lamont Parker. Tijal Chirangama Patel. David Michael Patrick. What's that? Arnold N. Kedra Payne? And Payne. Lisa Perez. Elaine Pear. Gabrielle Pleasant. Hugh W. Plummer. Robert Antoine Pitts. Prasasi Prasai. Christopher Ryan Preston. Joshua Randall Prestridge. Ronald J. Reddy Jr. Venkata Krishna Raye. On Raza. Glenda Paola Reyes. Edwin Jonathan Reyes Escobar. Rodney O. Rice. Jennifer Marie Richards. Caprina N. Rivers. Seema Rizvi. Diane Marie Robles. Stephanie Marie Barros Rorda. Dina Lynn Rosario. Kevin Glenn Ross. Melissa Catherine Rubalata. Antonio Salazar Jr.
Romina Katuska Salerno. William Christian Schumacher. Roland A. Samuels. Tuku Samate. Harry Lloyd Shear. Timothy James Schmidt. Alarise Omara Scott. Amivi Sholali Sado. Gursimran Singh Shergill. Jacob Shevitz. Brian Tanner Sims. Mentenso Semir Skidoachulo. Karine Simon. Modupeolua Emanuela Shawande. Ryan Patrick Small. Alton Kiwi Smith Jr. Jasmine Regale Smith. Jessica Beth Smith. John R. Smith IV. Terrell Avion Smith. Faiza Soladin. Terrence St. Rose Jr. Jessica V. Stein. Bené Tierra Stemley. Jasmine Valencia Stevens. Ibrahim Soare. Derek Stein. Anthony Sweatlick. Usman Tahir. Helen Oneki Tanyi. Mary Tarpe. Colt Allen Taylor. James B. Taylor. Natnael Testa. Deepa Tamaradan. Preetha Annie Thomas. Stephanie Tollefson. Monica Dawn Tompkins. Gurnur Singh Tour. Carrie Ann Tordonato. Nalfatu Tour. Sakita Trammell. Stephen Treherne. Sherry A. Turner. Lisa Katoki Uku. Martin Freddie Underwood Jr. Emmanuel Ugbong Undi. Eunice Ngozi Urama. Daniel Kizi Uzoma. Demetria Shanae Venable. William F. Boulderbing Jr. Catherine Marie Votra. Carlene H. Walker Holcomb. Catherine Christine Warman. Linnea Marsha Waters. Bruce Oliver Weaver. Michelle Renee White. Roderica Charmaine Wilson. Rebecca Elizabeth Ann Winkert. Bradley Stephen Wojcicki. Nduka Ichehi Wosu. Siobhan Christine Wright. Tatiana Gegrafopa. Fraser H. Zodi. Ao Zhang. Michelle Mbopupo Mibok. Belinda D. Mann. Modupe Olienka Sarat. Adontis Atkins Sr. Bola Dawudu. Carlistus C. Nabuife. Shazeb Salman Ghazali. Rania Sawyer. Donna Elise Wilkerson.
Dr. Kara Van Dam, Vice Provost and Dean of the Undergraduate School, will present our bachelor's and associate degree candidates.
Thank you, Dr. Drimmer, and good afternoon, graduates, distinguished faculty, and honored guests. It is now my privilege to present our bachelor's and associate candidates. Today's bachelor's degree candidates have completed degrees in areas including business, communications, cybersecurity, criminal justice, environmental management, history, psychology, nursing, and more. Over the course of their studies, they have learned to think critically, communicate clearly, and work collaboratively. Let me also call your special attention to the bachelor's candidates graduating with academic honors. These are designated by the gold, blue, or white honor cords they wear. The bachelor's candidates will be followed by associate degree candidates who are wearing light gray gowns. These men and women have earned the Associate of Arts degree. And now, candidates for Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Technical and Professional Studies, Bachelor of Science, and Associate of Arts, you will be directed to the stage for individual recognition. Please remain in your seats until you are invited to come forward. Let us begin with the first bachelor's candidates.
Tara Victoria Patterson. Rachel Elise Adams. Danielle Deandra Skinner. Darrow Fall. Peter K. Francis. Rita Eve Abrams. Carlos Alberto Acevedo Jr., magna cum laude. Tommy Caris de Leon Acuesta. Kelly Mira Adams. Tamara T. Addison. Edwin Mauricio Aguilar Jr. Omolola Faluke Ajayi. Vanessa M. Ejebole. Janice Adwini Akane. Olan Rewayu Ebenezer Akenkwotu. Olabisi A. Alabi. Adam Leo Allen. Anadari Altangarel. Oliver Ba Ambu. Teresa Andrews. Herbert E. Anagho. Tosin Samuel Aribasala. Joanne Arroyo. Daniel Carvalho Barbosa, cum laude. George Clinton Barber. Leroy Harrison Begay Jr. Fatima Anjum Buta. John Joseph Bell, summa cum laude. Teresa Michelle Bernier. Hamza Barada Alam. Lavan Marie Tanisha Denise Berry. Tatiana Paris Bolat. James A. Booker. Christopher Taylor Boyer. Jason Farrow Bridges. Gregory Richard Briggs, summa cum laude. Brittany Shell Bozeman. Adam Morton Bright, summa cum laude. David George Bright, summa cum laude. Stacy Lenice Brothers. Danine Marie Brown. Sandra Isabel Brown. Keisha Odia Bryan. Henri Jean Kerr Burgos. Maddie Wright Burrell. Raymond Walter Bush Jr. Amanda Kathleen Bird, cum laude. Joseph Adam Cahill. Lyndia Calhoun. Cynthia K. Caravello, summa cum laude. Sandra Marie Kessel. Cara M. Catania. Wilfredo Serna Jr. Christopher Robin Cargill. Somik Chakraborty. Liquana Shanta Chapman. Leanne J. Charpentier. Janice Lynn Childers, cum laude. Stephanie Darling Chin. Derek Awa Chingo, cum laude. Kathy Marie Chisholm. April L. Christensen. Rosanna Kim Christopher. Emeka Anwuka Chuko. Samuel Chung. John William Clampett. Lena Cherina Clemson. Ashley Sarah Colleton. Catherine Marie Copeland. Jessica Lynn Coppage. Michelle Elizabeth Cox. Ellen Creary. Heather Christina Cruz. Neil C. Cretendon. Bowie Cruz. Audrey Teresa Cunningham. Christina Marie Daniels, magna cum laude. Rebecca Tarvin Davis, summa cum laude. Lena DeAngelis Sloan, magna cum laude. Maria De Benedictis. Donnell Leon Deloach. Mercidio Delva Sr. Amy Jean DePaul. Nation Obaso Dianga. Sean Jamal Diggs, cum laude. Tracy Michelle DeRusso. Regina Dixon. Loic Kenda Jamin. Jason P. Donnelly. Victoria Downey. Nicholas C. Droste, magna cum laude. Glenn Dumproff II. James Olden Edwards III. Lavanya Danielle Edwards. Marcus Edwards.
Bradley Obakai Eheki Menor, summa cum laude. Adam R. Eisenhower. Wilvins Elira. Anzil Bruce Ellison. Catherine Ann Epps. Maurice Tyvon Epps. Josh Esco. Keith Bernard Evans Jr. Joseph Ashraf Fahmy. Janelle L. Figaro. Kelly Lynn Fink. Kyle Fitzpatrick. Lamont Fletcher. Danielle Flores. Princess Rael Macapagal Flores. Arthur Julian Fogiel Jr., magna cum laude. Kathy Denise Foster. Matthew Julius Hillmore Francis. Tanya Michelle Fuller. Jeffrey Allen Gagnon. Vincent Riley Galliano. Kasim Jima Ganyu. Natasha Charlene Gartrell. Catherine Marie Gattens. Kamlan Mauli Gogbo. Ila Gabriel Gebhardt, summa cum laude. Sergei Tesfaye Gebremedin. Michael Timothy Gmas. Yanira Maria Gomez. Tiana Sarita Goodwater. Filomeno Gurenflo, cum laude. Elizabeth Marita Gregg. Alice Marie Graham. Laura Jennifer Gray. Karima Graham. Timothy L. Graham. Marina Yerovna Grekova, summa cum laude. Cesario Philip Guerrero. Noel J. Guerrero. Summer Gupta. Oscar J. Guillian. Stephanie Dawn Guzen, cum laude. Tracy Lee Springer Hamilton. Angela C. Hancock. Jason Allen Harkness. Salida R. Harley. Carlton W. Harris. Stephen Andrew Hayden, cum laude. Anthony Edwin Heidzig, cum laude. Melody Shamar Hayward. Ron C. Hoffler. Donald Scott Hogue. Chelsea Michaela Horvath. Brandon Howard. Zachary Scott Hubbard. Gabriel G. Huerta. Janine Michelle Hurley. Sarah Ibrahimi. Good luck Orimisin Irinyetnikan. Hina Iqbal. Alfredo Armando Jackson Moore. Chanel Lakeisha Jackson. Ashley Nicole Jacobs. Parker Stephen Jacobs, cum laude. Rose Lorene Jarrett. Angel Yvette Jesse. Annette R. Johnson. Antoinette Danielle Johnson, magna cum laude. Breon Johnson. Christopher Wallace Johnson. Shannon Marie Jones, magna cum laude. Julia Constance Juskilis. Jennifer L. Karazewicz, cum laude. Biniam Kabidi. Thomas Francis Keller, summa cum laude. Glynis Wakuna Kobe, cum laude. Bilal Kuzbari. Gregory J. Lane. Jarrett N. Lawrence. In Hung Lee.
Joan S. Lee. Ectorina V. Lesser, summa cum laude. Andrea Christina Latora, summa cum laude. Kimberly Marie Lewis. Jessica Yvonne Linton, summa cum laude. Kevin Allen Lopez, summa cum laude. Catherine E. Lum. Jennifer Lynn Lusby, cum laude. Michelle Lynn. Brigitte Estrella Marcel. Vicky LaShawn Mack. Adriana Marin, cum laude. Shumal Elazar Mark. Puriano bin Marsum, magna cum laude. Jacob Matthew Martz, magna cum laude. Jose Mateo Toledo. Juanita L. Mathis. Renier Leah McCarthy. Caitlin Margaret McLean. Karine Lavinia McCullough. Gloria McDowell. Celeste Roseman McKay. Regina Sherry McMurray. Teeman M. Mbain. Devin Marie Zampier Metzler. Theodore Joseph Michalek, summa cum laude. Jessica Lynn Milligan, cum laude. Alexis K. Meisner. Catherine Louise Moore. Jason Montalvo. Kristen Michelle Montalon. Jennifer Marie Montrose, magna cum laude. William Russell Moore. Kimberly Nicole Morrison. David Callan Moten. Sebastian Moreno, cum laude. Daniel James Moser. Abdurraham Mohammed. Georgina Mullen. Tatiana Patricia Murillo. Kayla Marie Murphy. Samuel Murphy, cum laude. Bashir Andre Nader. Raymond Cordero Nawata. Andriana Nicole Nearing, summa cum laude. Maria Andravina Nedspolskbinko. Craig Kenneth Newcomb. Devante Jordan Newsom. Sohang Nguyen. Tyrone Andre Nichols Sr. Nito Nobel. Winston B. Obermuller. Christian R. O'Berry. Taylor S. O'Connell. Rate Olubukula Oke. Natalie Margaret Okel. Rita Chakwanye Oladijime, Kuma Laude. Shantaya DeAngela Oliver. Omaleo Morankeji Olusha. Carla M. Ortega. Raymond Patrick Oxendine. Roberto M. Pedro. Brandy C. Page. Maurice Patterson. Riza Panahe. Stephanie Patricia Parham. Matthew Stephen Pachucky. Tanner Piercall. Melissa G. Binkowski. Diane F. Hoare. Brianna Post-Burkholder. Norlene Lorraine Powell. Chantel Marie Powell. Tiona Darche Powell, cum laude. Christy Lynn Presbury. Princess Victoria Pridgeon. Darlenis Jacqueline Pujols. Shannon Lynn Quisenberry. Jose Antonio Quijada Jr. Dolce Rosalind Ramirez. Zarina Rana Mohammed, cum laude. Dina Nicole Reinhardt. Anthony LeVar Relaford. Abel Mesfin Raisin. Megan Taylor Richardson. Sarah C. Richardson. Bertha Layla Robertson. Lisa Maria Robinson. Francesca Dara Rodriguez. Novlet Cassandra Russell English. Sean Gregory Rohr, cum laude. William Alberto Ruiz. Jorge Pascual Salas. Juan Gabriel Salguero. Tracy Lynn Sanchez.
Irvin Sawyers. Benjamin Conrad Schaefer. April Marie Schmidt. Robert John Schmitz Jr. Meredith A. Schwab. Alexandra Scotland. Kelsey Angelique Scott. Kevin Stephen Scott. Lisa Scott. Arnaud Roche Sika Jr. Eric Sendelbach. Brittany Leanne Sertic Bayless. Sharifer Rahman Sharif. Anthony Ray Sharp. Yolanda M. Sharp. William Joseph Sims. Eric J. Skalski, magna cum laude. Rosita L. Harris Schumacher. Lizandra Smith. Travis Lamont Smith. Courtney Sopa. Erica Ray Sperlin, magna cum laude. Nicole Ashley Stiegel, summa cum laude. Mark Charles Stein. Kelly Ann Stock. Linda Stewart Stovall. Sierra Marie Sunshine. Megan Frances Sutton. Antoinette Marie Tates, magna cum laude. Masa Veronica Taylor. Esokasi Alfred Chalim. Aaron Wayne Thomas. Paige Leslie Thomas. Charles James Thompson, cum laude. Victoria Amy Thornhill. Nicole Thorpe. Rachel Thorpe. Melinda R. Townsend. Kim Bao Tran. Vera Tihonova. Adriana Trosbach. Iris M. Troya. Julie Tse, cum laude. Brenda Elizabeth Tunn, summa cum laude. Erica Marie Tops, magna cum laude. Lily Ogechi Udumuku. Henry G. Vasquez. Jawan Deasia Victor. Michael Anthony Vogelsen. R. Donate von Bredau Gardner, magna cum laude. Dui Duc Vu. Desiree Elizabeth Walker. Adam Woodrow Watkins. Liberty Weaver, magna cum laude. Jada White. Juliet R. Wilkins. Coraine Rochelle Williams. Mariah L. Williams. Crystal Danielle Wilson. Latarsha Verdell Wilson. Alvin H. Williams. Jenna Winiger. Tiffany Janelle Wise. Leslie Renee Woods. Allison Patricia Wright. Mary L. Wright Wilkins. Raya Micaela de Vera Yabes. Aster L. Yamain. Michael Kofi Urenki. Tishana Bush. Shakil Ahmed Khan. Ronald Francois. Hui Q Nguyen. Emmanuel Gaini. Tina Nicole Brunson. Christopher Robert Zach. Luis A. Foxfaran. Princely Gwale Monju. Lamia Preston. Sidoni Eleanor Teuma. Joya Gloria Costa, cum laude. Jennifer Rosemary Jablanowski, cum laude. Sharon Gattoni Pavlovic. Denise Andrea Luster, summa cum laude. Leonardo Franco Silva. Yaw Johnson Arca. Brooke Ashton Dieters. Timothy J. French. Candace Rosalina Dickey. Jonathan Edwin Wayne Dickey. Jada Simone Farrow. Corey Lee King. Mark B. Lara. Ingrid Bridget Passmore. Obed Pellegrino Cornier. Elaine R. Villoria.
Will all of our graduates please rise? President Miyares, in accordance with the recommendations of the faculty of the University of Maryland University College, the deans and I request that you confer upon these graduates the degrees, as in each case is appropriate, in recognition of their successful completion of all requirements.
Under the authority granted by the State of Maryland to the Board of Regents of the University System of Maryland, and by that board delegated to me, I hereby confer upon you your degrees as in each case is appropriate, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining. Congratulations, graduates.
And now, to symbolize your new status as graduates of the University of Maryland University College, and on the count of 3, but not before, please move your tassels from the right side to the left side of your caps. 1, 2, 3. Congratulations. Now, before we conclude with the recessional, I invite you to join in the singing of our alma mater, led by Isabel Pollard. The words to the alma mater can be found on page 16 of your program. Will the audience please rise?
We honor you and thank you for all that you have done to help us on our journey and make us all as one. So with this song of glory, let's say your name aloud. UMUC, UMUC, forever standing proud. The time we spent together at night or in the day, in many different places, at home or far away, unites us and then guides us. Now we're your precious jewels. UMUC, UMUC, the dearest of all schools.
You may now be seated. Thank you, Isabel, for that beautiful rendition of our alma mater. And now, UMUC graduates, as you go forward from this day, wear your UMUC pins with pride. We look forward to your continued relationship with our university as new members of our worldwide and lifelong alumni family. Once again, congratulations.
The recessional will now begin with the platform party, followed by the faculty and then our graduates. We ask our audience to please remain at their seats until the recessional has concluded. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your cooperation and congratulations.
Thank you.